Bonsoir tout le monde, j'espère que ça vous a plu. Oui, je crois que oui. Alors, ladies and gents,
Les amis, DJ Muggs.
legendary Muggs.
Thank y'all for coming out, man, and fucking with me. I appreciate it, everybody. You know what I mean?
You can give him much love, more than that, please, for Muggs. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did you enjoy the movie? Okay, so you can stay for the follow-up. Yeah. How are you, DJ Muggs?
Feeling good, man. Thank you very much, brother. Appreciate it.
We feel good too, because when we saw the movie, we feel a bit high,
And thank you for that.
Yeah, that was the concept. The idea was to make you feel high without you having to get high. You know what I mean? This is the first psychedelic hip-hop movie there is. It was inspired by people like, for me, like Alejandro Jodorowsky, who's a big inspiration to me, you know what I mean? Just just doing something different and just doing something a little bit that I haven't done before, and just something to make things exciting and things fun for me again, because I've done over 100 music videos and put out 50 albums, and I was like, I don't want to just do traditional music videos again for this project. So what I did is I shot 3 music videos that actually play in the movie, one in the trap house, and they part of the scenes, and we interweaved everything. But when we made it, we didn't know what we was doing. We was making it up as we was going along, making the story, writing the story as we were shooting the scenes, you know what I'm saying? So it was all one big experiment for us, just.
So this is the first movie from the Soul Assassin stable, and you know what the people them say, when the dope is good, we want more. So can we expect some more movies?
Oh, absolutely. We got a few things in the works right now, you know what I mean? Just try to keep stretching ourselves, man, and keep stretching our creativity and keep stretching our imagination and just go where we haven't gone before, man, and just having a good time, and just hopefully I could just keep inspiring the youth to kind of push their own boundaries, you know what I mean? Instead of just, you could do what other people are doing, and it's good, so for inspiration, but you got to stretch this shit and make it bigger and make it better.
Making the history of the movie, first of all, you made Soul Assassins 3 called Death Valley, and after that you made a soundtrack of Death Valley, and of course the movie. Do you see that work of a triptych, kind of? Triptych, the 3-part trilogy?
Trinity.
No, I haven't thought about it. I haven't really thought about what we're going to do for the Soul Assassins, if this film's going to be a 3 parts, but this was the Soul Assassins 3. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to do one again, you know what I mean?
Why that?
Well, when I did the first one, mixtapes wasn't out yet like they are. So after we did the first one, it was one of the first times where you heard Dr. Dre was on my beats, and Reza, Mobb Deep, you know what I mean?
It was in 97.
97, but then 3 years later, mixtapes came. So to make an album on Columbia Records, cost a lot of money, you had to pay, but if you did a mixtape, everybody would do it for free. But then I wouldn't even get I wouldn't get good artists on my album, that it was easier to get them on mixtapes. So I just said, I left it, and I was like, let me go to the next thing. I hate going backwards. I never want to go backwards and try to do backwards shit, so I was like, let me go forwards. And then I just had a bunch of songs, because I record all the time. I still got maybe 50 more songs I didn't put on this album. When all the homies come to LA, we just work. We always work, we record, we just put it away. And I was like, one day I was like, you know what, maybe it's time to do this again.
You talk about Alejandro Jodorowsky, the director. He's also a great novelist and stuff like that, and he made a lot of movies such as The Secret Mountain. But we can see we saw other reference, such as Las Vegas Parano, The Goodfellas with the voice of Ray Liotta.
Yeah, so we got what's his name? Goodfellas. What's the actor's name?
Ray Liotta.
Ray Liotta. We used Ray Liotta's voice. My boy wanted to use Goodfellas, and I was like, no, I don't want to use Goodfellas. That's kind of fucking boring, and it's not smart, and it's fucking stupid, and it sounds like a mixtape from 2001. So we wrote, so everything has to be original, so we wrote the dialogue, but then we used Ray Liotta's voice from AI. So we went back and used it in AI, and it took a lot of work, because when you write for something for AI, it doesn't come out the way you want it to. There's a little bit of the emotion missing, and some of the inflection and the intricacy in the middle of these words and stuff. But I think the shit worked out fire. You know what I mean? I think you got the sentiment across. If you feel the spirit of Ray Liotta.
And so you did this work with Jason Goldwatch. Can you introduce him to the public?
Jason Goldwatch is like a motherfucking genius to me. You probably know his work with Jay Electronica and Action Bronson, Alchemist, and we did one video with him for Cypress. And I called him one day and I was like, man, I need you to come listen to this album. I need to do something different. I just don't want to shoot no music videos. So he came through. I said, I want to do a 10-minute movie. And he said, that's going to be hard, man. That's a lot of fucking work. So we came up with some ideas. We ended up doing a 35-minute movie. We shot it in LA, shot it in San Francisco, we shot it in Oakland, we shot it in Las Vegas, and then we shot it in Death Valley as well. So, you know, we just got in the car and just smashed.
And it seems that your quest for creativity is never ending. So is the way, like when you do a movie, can we compare it to the sampling? Like you take something that exists, you transform it, and you do some other piece of art with it.
Say again, please.
I say like, to me, when I watch the movie, it's like sampling. It's like when you do samples. You take something that already exists.
Yeah, so that's what Jason Goldwatch does. So if you see this scene with the helicopter and the guy running, that's not me. That's from the news. That's something that really happened. So I had to dress like that guy and I had to run like him, all fucking weird, right? I had to practice running like him. So that, but we mixed it together. And then, you know, some of that stuff is just ripped from YouTube. Like all the boats at the beginning, and then the guy running from the cops, that really happened in the desert. And
the Indian guy also at the beginning, the Indian scientist.
All that shit is from the internet. Yeah, but we pieced it all together because that him being Indian clicks with the CVS crew later, the Central Valley Sikhs. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's the same work than sampling for as you do usually?
Yeah, I think Jason Goldwatch makes his art the same way we make hip-hop. It's just sampling records and putting ideas and putting different things together. I think that is his approach. And if you go back and look at his other works, you'll understand, like, he did a video with Alchemist and Ono one time in the back of a truck. And they're in the car, but it's a chase scene, and they're in the car the whole time in the back of the truck, you know what I mean? So he's big on working like that. That motherfucker's a genius, yo.
Speaking about the characters, there are several characters who are really charismatic, such as the Oaks, the Cowboys. Our favorite are the CVS crew, the Six. How it came it, and is it a way to speak about characters in life? We can speak about the cops, for example, or the government.
Yeah, the cops are those. So I don't know. You know, I think everybody's. I don't even know if this even really happened. That's the whole shit. Did it even happen? Because it's 2027, right, in Death Valley. So when you end up watching it, I'm not trying to spell anything out for you. I want you to come up with whatever your imagination tells you and whatever you think. I think everybody's going to get something different out of this and probably interpret it the way they want to interpret it. But the Hawks are the cops. So the whole time this shit's happening, the Hawks seen everything happening. So the Hawks are a group of cops that were ex-Navy SEALs that robbed dope boys. They robbed drug dealers. So there's some scenes we didn't put in, but at the beginning, when the Sikhs are going to rob the cowboys, the cops are there. They're ready to go get the dope from the cowboys, but they see the Sikhs come and they go, "Who the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? And the cops are following it the whole time, so the bag gets to me. And they're like, "Who's this guy?" And then they come to get the bag from me at the end.
And I find the movie a lot mystical, like in the spirit of the mind. And like your label is Soul Assassins, you say it's a close future, so it's 2027. And I realized that 7 because you've been to Egypt, and 7 in Egypt is the 7 souls who compose a character.
Yeah, if you go watch that shit 5 or 6 more times, you're gonna start seeing things that we put in there. There's a lot of Easter eggs in there, and you'll start seeing things, and then I'll let you piece it together yourself. But there's layers in there. There's a lot of layers. There's a lot of symbolism. There's a lot of mysticism. I'm not gonna spell it out. I'm not gonna tell you about it. You can figure it out, and you know, hopefully it inspires you and it takes you on a journey. And I hope you could watch this shit, and I hope you want to go home and make some dope shit. You know what I mean?
See it on the website of Soul Assassins right now.
Yeah, so we ain't selling it. It's free. You want to watch it on Soul Assassins? It's free. This is like my 10th country I brought it to. I brought it to 15 states in America for free for the people. And I think that if you want to watch the extended version with all the behind the scenes shit, I think it's $9 or some shit. But otherwise, it's just free for the people to enjoy and get inspired. You know what I mean? And
I realized when I watch it on your website that it's divided. If you see the underscreen, it's divided on into chapters. And you can watch finally each chapter, it's an entire story by itself. And you can even watch the chapter by random and it tells you another story.
yeah, we did it on purpose. So, you know, maybe you watch it once, but you want to go back and find a chapter so you don't got to go bzzz, back and forth. You can go specifically where you want to go. So I try to make it user-friendly.
Do you believe the fact that with music or movie and particularly arts, we can change the way of history?
Oh, absolutely. I think you can, 100%.
It's very mystical.
Tu crois?
It's a mystical interview.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you planned already to put the music videos of Boldy James, Rock Marciano, May Lorem into the movie?
Well, when we made them, they were planned to be in the movie. Yeah, 100%. Like on the bonus thing on my website, the full videos are in there. You can actually see the whole videos. But that was part of it, is actually to have music videos on the TVs that actually be part of the movie. That was a whole nother layer and a whole nother twist, you know. And I've never seen nobody do that like this yet. So that's why I was like, let's fuck with it. Let's get crazy in this motherfucker and see what we can do with a little bit of budget and not so much time, as movies take a lot of time and a lot of budget. So it took us 6 months to do this shit. From beginning to end, we shot it in about 2 or 3 weeks, but then the edits and all the sounds, because when you hear the car drive, you got to put the car, and then you got to put the footsteps. You know what I mean? Then when he goes from the cement to the sand, the footsteps change. You know what I mean? That was a lot of the work.
And I want to talk a little bit about a character in the movie, but we never name it. It's just there to see. It's the dog. Yeah.
Oh, that's my daughter's dog. Her name's Gucci. So Gucci's fully attack trained. She's a little killer. She's a sweetheart, though. You know what I mean? So she rolls to the studio with us every day, and so that's her film debut. You know what I mean? She's a superstar now. She's gonna get her star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame soon. So be ready for Gucci to be starring in the next Quentin Tarantino movie. You know, be on the lookout for her.
And talking about the Walk of Fame, you already have a star for the music. Can we expect to have another star just for the movie stuff?
Probably not.
But we give it to you anyway in Paris.
Thank you, brother.
Which is good.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Speaking about the website, I had a question. I didn't find the wardrobe you have in the movie. Why? Because I want it.
Which one was what part? Which one do you want?
The one with essay on the back.
Essay in the back.
The one you have on the balcony.
robe. Oh, we're gonna put the robe out next
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
That was sample. So we had the sample for the robe. So I wore the samples. There's also the gun club. We were doing a whole gun club release this year with targets.
Golden
guns.
gun with the bad motherfucker.
The T-shirt.
the t-shirt,
Written
sorry,
Gun Club.
T-shirt.
Yeah.
Well, we got a whole, because we shoot guns, but we go and shoot in obstacle courses. You see the obstacle courses with guns, like as a sport. Just me and my friends, some of my military friends have fun. So we have a gun club. So we put in a whole gun club collection out this year with targets and guns and gun cases and holsters and hats and all kind of shit. Just for us, you know what I mean? Okay. Some shit to do, man.
Like the ring. Like the ring.
Yeah, the ring. Yeah. That's for the family's ring.
And so before the movie, you did 2 soundtracks.
Yeah, this year I did a soundtrack, the whole movie score for a movie called Divinity, which is a sci-fi movie about a drug that helps you live forever, with Eddie Alcazar. That came out, and we did a bunch of film festivals and stuff with that. And then when that was finished, I went and did a new Mel Gibson movie called The Informant, and that should be coming out later this year. I scored that movie as well. So, you know, I've done big Hollywood movies before, but I don't like Hollywood, because if I meet with the director and he likes it, then you have the producer, and the studio has to like it. And the fucking studio don't know what the fuck they doing. They make you change your shit. So after they made me change my shit 3 times, I said I'm never doing Hollywood again because I do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and I don't like to paint by numbers. They want you to do that shit. So I was like, when an independent film comes across that I can do Muggs and how Muggs does it, and I have a good relationship with the director, then I'll go back into film. So Eddie approached me and said, just do what you do. You know, a perfect example of that was like Sofia Coppola with Air for Virgin Suicides. You know, that was Air's music. You know, when you seen Ghost Dog with RZA and Jim Jarmusch approached him, that was RZA's music. You know what I mean? So when I got to do Divinity, that was me. But it made me reach really deep because I never done no sci-fi stuff. So I had to like come outside of my comfort zone and like really go someplace I've never went before to try to create the backdrop for that movie. So I like the challenge of that, you know, because I could always do what I know how to do. It's fucking easy, but then it gets boring to do the same shit you already did all the time, you know what I mean? But so for me to try something new and just like fucking drive myself crazy because it's making me mad because I can't figure it out, but then you have that breakthrough, you know, that's the challenges I keep looking for.
Are there some directors you wanted to work with? Famous directors?
I mean, you know, there's all the classic guys out there, but no, just, you know, we'll see what happens. There's nobody I want to work with, but if I have a good connection with somebody like Eddie Alcazar, who did Divinity, we're working on a couple new things, his next film. So he's probably trying to put his team together like Martin Scorsese did. You know, he's always worked with Al Pacino, he always worked with De Niro, he's always worked with Pesci, and that's what Eddie's doing. He's putting his team together. So you'll see me working with him a lot in the future. I don't even really care about films because it takes a lot of fucking work, like months and months and months, and you make no money, and you have no time to do anything else. So I'll work with him for fun, but it's not something I don't think I'm planning on going into that profession, you know?
And in all the interviews you did by the past, you always mentioned the music influence on you when you was a kid. What is about the movie when you were a kid? You have some souvenirs of movie?
Movies for me was like, you know, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. You know what I mean? Godfather. Like these movies was like Elephant Man, Raging Bull, you know, Holy Mountain, El Topo, Blade Runner. You know, I like sci-fi. I like just good character shit. And I like fucking comedies too, you know. I watch comedies all the time. Stupid shit. It's my favorite shit, you know what I mean?
And it seems like regarding the work of Cypress Hill, it was always super cinematographic, the music. So the cinema seems to always have inspired you.
Absolutely. Like with Cypress, when I came with the first Cypress album, that was pretty much our whole lives. Like, and I just wanted you to feel what it was like to be on Cypress Avenue with us, you know. So that was how I did the Cypress record. So when you heard that first Cypress album, you was like, I'm on Cypress Hill with these motherfuckers kicking and selling weed. Cops are coming. We're running. All the street lights, we used to break all the street lights out so the cops couldn't see us. Then the city would fix them. Then we'd break all the lights out. You know what I mean? We'd be back out there doing our thing. But so that was the feeling we tried to give you with that. But I think, you know, I kind of like when I make music, I always see it. So when I make my albums, I always make the album cover first. And I look at the album cover while I'm making the album. And I'm always trying to make the music to sound like the album cover looks.
Was it the purpose of the first song, the first Cypress Hill song, How Could I Just Kill a Man? Did it make like a script, like a scenario?
That was our first hit song, right?
Yeah. 91.
That song was actually called. There was a whole other song. We was in the studio at my house on the little 4-track with the cassette Tascam 4-track. Remember that? And Bieber said one line in the song, and it was like, "Here is something I can't understand. How I can kill a man." And I stopped him. I was like, "That's the hook." And he looked at me like I was crazy, and I said, "No, that's the hook." And we made it the hook, and then we put it on cassette, and we drove around with it for like 6 months, and it was a hit just in our neighborhood because we make cassettes. And it was just a hit in the neighborhood. But then that was the first song we actually did that sounded like a record. Because we made a lot of songs, a lot of demos, and they sucked. You know what I mean? Shit was whack. We was selling weed. We didn't know we was making records, but it was finally like, oh shit. And that was the new Yeah, now from there, that was the new level up for us right there.
And so in the movie, you said that the end is the beginning is the end. You just said that into Cypress music, you put a lot of cinematography. When we watch the movie, we have some audio samples like the police chase. We have some radio cops. It reminds us the Pigs track for Cypress Hill. Then when I see you in the police cars, it looks like Colors, and you have a track on the soundtrack with 783. And at the end of the movie, I don't know where is the end, where is the beginning, and I get lost in thought, like Funk Dubiest, and it's also a song that you produced.
You know what's trip? Because every time you finish something, right, it's over. But then it's the beginning of something new, right? So everything, and that's what the film is. It's like, where is the beginning? Where is the end? So we started the film, and we ended the film. We ended the film exactly how the film starts. And we started the film exactly how the film ends. You know what I mean? But then there's a psychological thing. Did anything even really happen? Was it just all a fucking mind fuck, right? Was you just getting high? Because like I don't even know if this shit happened. So you know. I'll leave that up to you to figure it out. Watch it again, and you'll see some shit you didn't see the first time.
And back in the day,
I have
sometimes
to pause it though and go like, that. Oh shit, there it is, because we put some hidden messages in there.
back in the day, sometimes they say if you play a vinyl reverse style, sometimes you get a new message. So what is the hidden message in the movie?
Good luck figuring that one out.
And let's talk a bit about the.
You know what they told when people Picasso used to keep a gun with him with blanks, and when they asked him what does your paintings mean, he'd pull the gun out and pop, but it had blanks. So that's all I'm saying.
We're lucky. We have that guns.
Lucky.
You're lucky.
And yeah, let's talk a bit about the special effects when you get high with the new supply. You know, there is some psychedelic. You look like sometimes it's a old man.
I went to in San Francisco in the wharf, Fisherman's Wharf. They have a mirror maze where you go and there's mirrors everywhere, and you can see yourself, like 15 of yourselves. And you try to walk through the maze, but it's hard because there's mirrors everywhere. So we shot in the mirror maze. But it was hard because the public was coming in. So we had to keep stopping because you could see them in the mirror. So we had to stop and wait. So it took all fucking day. And then we added, we used AI to add more, but layers and layers and layers of weeks and weeks of AI to figure it out. You know what I mean? Because we never used AI till we made this. So we was learning as we was making the film. And Jason kept sending it to me. Then when he sent me the old man part, I was like, oh shit, that shit's hard as fuck. You know, like, that shit right there looks crazy. I think he did a great job. That guy's a fucking genius, man. It's a pleasure to work with people that kind of like, you work with people that make you better and make you do things that you never thought you can do. You know what I mean? And when you work with people that are that good, it's a good motherfucking time, man.
It's your first time as an actor also.
If you want to call that shit acting, yeah.
I've
Well, you know what he asked me? He
I
goes,
was asking if you
do
work it.
He goes, do you want to do it or should we get somebody else to do it? And I was like, it's going to be weird if I have somebody else do it, right? What the fuck am I doing? I'll do it.
Did you practice a little bit? Or?
Do shit. I just showed up. I smoked a lot of weed and just came to the party, yo.
But you even do the way on the security camera, the news camera. You even do the way the guy is running.
It was hard.
Yeah, but you run the same.
Runs fucking weird. I felt like an asshole running like that, but I did good. Said all my friends are gonna laugh at me when they see this. They go, "He got something stuck in his ass. Look at him."
I think long shoot. This car chasing. The one where you take the car, the policeman.
Well, like I said, all that shit really happened.
Yeah.
But my part was just me in the car looking back, like acting like it happened. Then he cut back and forth. So if I didn't tell you, did you know that wasn't even me? Could you tell it was from the internet that he mixed it? You could tell?
Not at all.
Yeah, I can't either. When I look at
You
it,
can play. So
when I look at it now, I was like, God damn, I can't even tell. It looks good because I dress like the dude, you know. But yeah, he did a good fucking job with that.
That's why at the beginning I didn't understand why you dash away the cap, you know. And then I realized it because you have to match the original
That's what I said.
tape.
And I didn't have a haircut, so I didn't want to take my hat off. I said, fuck it.
you can speak right now about music. Yeah.
About the music.
I think everybody wants to also. Yeah. So first of all, I don't know. Maybe there are not of there is a lot of fan of your work here, but before making music with Cypress Hill, there are 783, which should I talk a little bit, and the thing also that it was more music hotter, more music in the mood of Cali, because the first album was Cool in Cali. How did you pass from 783 to the darkness of Cypress Hill Productions?
So check it out. So I was already the Cypress Hill. I was from Cypress Hill, from the street, Cypress Avenue, and I didn't even know 783 yet. It was me and B-Real had a group, me and B-Real, and Sendog and his brother Melamenes had a group. We had one big group called DVX. Our hood was called Cypress, but the rap shit was different. Then a friend of mine said, "Hey man, I met these kids from Brooklyn. You have to meet them. They live in Hollywood." And I was like, "Man, I don't go to Hollywood. Fuck Hollywood." And then because Hollywood was like sellout shit. I never went to Hollywood. I was still young, like 18. Then I was like, "Fuck it." I went to Hollywood one day and I met these guys from Brooklyn that lived in Hollywood, and they had a record out. One record called 783 Will Rock You, which was the remake of Queen, We Will Rock You. And I said, "Oh, I have a party at the park. Can you guys want to come and play?" And I put them on the flyer, and they had a record, so they came. And I DJ'd for them because the DJ didn't show up. And they said, "Hey, you want to be our DJ?" I said, yeah. So I said, "We have 3 shows next week with Ice-T." So I went and did the 3 shows with them. And then I told Cypress, and then like a month later, we was in the studio doing a song for Cutlass at the Delicious Vinyl Studios, where they did Tone Loc and Young MC. We was in their little studio where they mixed the Beastie Boys, Paul's Boutique, with Matt Dyke and Matt Ross and Mario C. And then I was like, fuck. So I told the Cypress guys, like, "Hey man, come to the studio with me. Let's go learn this music business. Let's go figure it out. Let's see how this works." So they would come with me to all the recording sessions, and that was like how we learned. And then 783 got an album deal, and we got signed to Geffen Records, and we went on tour with MC Hammer, Tony, Today, Salt and Pepper, Kwame. It was managed by Rush, and that's where I learned everything about the music business. So I went with 783 one day to the management company, and he goes, "Do you have a logo?" And I said, "What's a logo?" I never heard the word logo before. I didn't know what a logo was. And he showed me EPMD and Run DMC, and I was like, "Oh, fuck, we need a logo for Cypress." He goes, "What's your concept?" And I was like, "What's a concept? I ain't heard that." I dropped out of school in 10th grade. I don't know what the fucking concept was. We didn't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, "Well, Run DMC's the gangsters of hip-hop. LL Cool J's the B-boy. Slick Rick's the storyteller." And I was like, "Public Enemy's the Black Panthers." And I was like, "Oh, shit, okay." I just thought shit, you know. And when I went back to the hood, I was like, "Yo, we need a fucking logo. We need a concept. We need this." And that's when we sold weed, but we always told jokes and shit. And if you notice, NWA was always like, "Fuck you, motherfucker." But Cypress would laugh and go, So we came from a more sinister style. So I was like, "Yo, we got to bring that Cheech and Chong shit over here." You know what I mean? And add that to our shit. And that was kind of our angle. Because we smoked weed like a motherfucker. We sold a lot of weed. And at the time, Dr. Dre said, "I don't smoke weed or cess because it gives a brother brain damage, and brain damage on the mic doesn't manage." The brand Nubian said, "Slow down." But everybody was smoking weed, but they didn't want to talk about it. We had Ronald Reagan was the president. He was saying weed was the gateway drug that's going to get you on heroin and fucking crack if you smoke weed. We had DARE, which was another thing aimed to the kids to not get high. But we was counterculture, us. We was like, "Fuck you, fuck what you think, fuck whatever, we doing this." We was young, we was aggressive, we did what the fuck we wanted to do, and we just did it. So we went like that. But I also always had, my uncle was into rock. So I grew up with my uncle and my mom's brother. When I was like 6, he was like 18. But he had 8-track tapes stacked against the wall. He had lava lamps. He had beads. He had the fucking black light posters with the velvet posters. So I grew up around psychedelic shit my whole life, right? And there was always this weird ass smell. You know, it was weed. So that's where you get a lot of that psychedelic shit for Cypress. You know what I'm saying?
He get you banned from national TV for life, which is a big performance.
No, we got banned on one show was on Saturday Night Live. I smoked weed live on TV because we was really about pushing the legalization of marijuana back then. And it wasn't the thing you wanted to do back in 1993. We teamed up with, we was the first rap group on High Times magazine. And High Times was always around, so I would always see High Times with my uncle. So we would always be in High Times. And it was kind of a radical magazine in the 80s, in the 70s. And what was the question again?
It was not really a question, it was more like because of the promotion of weed, finally you get banned for life.
Oh, yeah, so I was like, you know, we started doing shit with NORML, the National Organization Reforming Marijuana Laws. We started doing free shows for them so we can raise money so they can hire lawyers to go to Congress to start trying to make weed legal. So when I got on Saturday Night Live, I was like, I'm gonna smoke weed on this motherfucker. But I didn't do it on the first song because they would have kicked us off, so I waited to the second song. And everybody got mad at me, you know what I mean? I got in trouble, and they kicked us off. They said, you can never come on again. I mean, I don't want to come on this fucking show anyways, ever again. Fuck y'all. Now it's legal. Now it's on every corner like Starbucks in California. There's a weed shop in every corner. And, you know, it's like, so, you know, we got the last laugh. We legalized this shit because we changed the culture in America for the youth to make, oh, weed's cool. But we didn't start this. This came from Bob Marley. This came from Rasta culture. This came from the rock and roll culture. For us, this is what we was inspired with. You know what I mean? But I knew when I smoked weed, I wanted to go to the studio and make music. And I wanted to work out. And I wanted to read books. Some of my friends smoke weed and they want to sit there and eat and watch fucking TV all day. To me, they got stoned. I got high and I got inspired. So I was like, fuck, this is the shit. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't for everybody. Just like I got some friends that drink. And they laugh and they have fun. And I got some friends that drink and they want to get in a fight after 2 drinks. They should never drink again. So, you know, but I found something that was very inspiring with it. So I wanted to spread the message and look where we are now, motherfuckers.
An applause, I think.
I have one last question. So rapid start with freedom of speech. Now it seems that you have the freedom of work with your label and the things that you do now. You can work with any kind of rapper you want and do really the thing that you love. And not really looking for some sales or, you know, some fame.
Like what I enjoy right now, some people might be like, why are you working with him? Because I work with people that I get along with. But I like working with artists that don't have, they're just new, you know what I mean? They don't got a platform. Like I got a big platform. When they don't have a platform, I could give them my platform and I can make them, hopefully help them to have a good life. You know what I mean? So that's what inspires me right now. It's like, I don't need money. I don't need fame. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I just want to help these kids. And then if I'm going to be in the studio with you for a month and away from my dog and my family and my friends, you got to be a cool motherfucker, right? We got to laugh all fucking day, smoke, kick it, have a good fucking time. And if you ain't like that, then we ain't going to work. But it doesn't matter to me if you have 1 follower on Instagram or 20,000. If you cool, let's work. So that's what I look for now when I work with people.
That's why you're still down with the new scene, underground scene, such as Moo, Croc Marciano.
All of them.
Mac Diomi, others.
Yeah, just good times. Like I just worked with Mooch. Like I like the kid a lot. I love him. We just laugh, bro. I laugh so hard my side hurts when I work with Mooch. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, let's make a record. Make it quick, bang it out in 2 weeks, go to the next shit. But yeah, that's what it's all about, man. Good fucking people, you know, doing good shit with good people, having a good time, being creative, laughing, having some fun, because life is fucking short, you know what I mean? None of y'all motherfuckers is going to make it out. Nobody's making it out alive. We're all going to fucking die soon, and I'm going to see all you motherfuckers in hell, all right? So we're going to be there. Go to the Jimi Hendrix concert in hell. Kick it.
And I saw that sometime you credited for writing some Cypress Hill lyrics. Can we expect you one day to rap yourself on your own beats?
No, I got songs, but I'm not gonna put them out. Because when I grew up, rappers were good. There was, like, you know, I mean, there was Big Daddy Kane, there was Rakim. You know what I mean? I was like, I can't do that shit. Now I could do this shit better than all these motherfuckers. But I'm cool. I'm not gonna do it.
Give thanks, DJ Muggs.
Thank y'all.